I'll call to order the special meeting of Coachella Valley Water District Board of Directors, December 23rd, 2025 in Coachella. And would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Good morning. President Powell.
Here.
Vice President Estrada.
Here.
Director Bianco.
Here.
Director Aguilar will be absent for the meeting, and Director Nelson may or may not show up before the meeting adjourns. He's on his way from Palm Desert, so we'll know if he does happen to show up.
Yeah, no. Boy, I'm glad I checked my calendar yesterday, and I'm like, because I was thinking Palm Desert.
Thanks for the email.
And then I looked at it. I don't know if you even looked at the email, but I corrected myself yesterday.
I try to send the email between 4 and 5 a.m. because I know I'm much busier at 5.
Yeah, no, it's, okay. Do we have anyone from the public wishing to comment at this time? Hearing none. We have one action item for approval of the successor MOU for the Teamsters Local 1932, and we have a presentation, a brief presentation.
Good morning, Director.
Good morning.
I'm pleased.
Very good.
Good morning. I'm pleased to report that the district's negotiations team and the negotiations teams for Teamsters Local 132 have reached a tentative agreement on terms for a successor 3-year MOU. That agreement has been ratified by a majority of the Teamsters membership, and now we are seeking approval from the board for the general manager to execute that MOU. The terms of the 3-year agreement are in the agenda report. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, but I know Teamsters has wishes to extend its appreciation to the district for the terms. I think that it's a contract that both sides can be very proud of.
Thank you. Is it the 132 or the 1932? What is the number of this group? 1932?
1932.
Okay. Want to make sure we had it right.
Yes.
I would have gone either way.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, good. Any comments? Or I know this is something that we've been spending quite a bit of time with on closed session, so the details of it are well known, I believe, to all the board members. And I do want to say thank you for your efforts, and I'm glad to see this is a 3-year deal, so we should be able to get all the benefits of that for 3 years and hopefully continue from there. So any discussion?
I'll make a motion and I'll make some comments, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve, and I just wanted to say thank you to Teamsters, to you, to the staff, and just in general wanted to say that I appreciate the employees of CVWD. I think we have great staff. I think I think this agency has taken care of a lot of families over the last 100 years, and a lot of people are proud to be part of the CVWD history and family. Even I meet a lot of folks that have been retired. I'll tell you a story. I just ran into somebody at the Lake Owea during the Derby, and this person had been, I believe, a meter reader or part of the domestic crew. He retired after 30 some years, and his family did well because of it, and he was still carrying around his employee badge, and he showed it to me to prove that he had been an employee of CVWD. And he was proud to say that he was one of, he called it one of the originals, right?
Yeah.
And because he pointed to his badge having the employee number like 83. And so I took a picture of it. And he carries it around. He carries it around in his wallet, and it's in something that he's very proud of, And so I just want to share that with you. And it makes me feel good to run into people like that in the community, because these folks are part of our community. You see them out there, and so I'm happy for them. I'm happy that this is something that they liked, and so I just want to share that.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's a good story.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that the negotiations were friendly. There wasn't any ultimatums on either side, and I think that leads to a better outcome for both the district and the Teamsters. So, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
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 Passed 3-0 with 2 absent. Great.
Great. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. You guys all worked hard on this.
Yeah, that's good. Meeting reports. We have Nelson. The second one, it looks like the State of the County, Vice President Estrada.
I was not able to attend that.
Okay. So then we have the
I heard it was super packed.
Colorado River Water Users Conference. And my dates on that, just for the record, are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday was a travel day. I came home Wednesday. Crua, I don't remember, they might have said it was record attendance, but it felt like record attendance. Back at Caesars, which is really great. I love Caesars compared to the others because you have everything in one place. It's nice. I don't know that anything in particular was resolved in terms of the shortage guideline renewal.
I mean, if they would have told us before that they were kicking the can until Valentine's Day, I probably wouldn't have gone. I mean, it was very uneventful.
Yeah, but something has to happen with the can between now and Valentine's Day.
True. Which
Otherwise, it'll get kicked again.
Yeah.
Anyways, definitely a pretty heavy lift for all the 7 states and tribes to get something done before the expiration of the 20-year agreement. So, which is coming up. What does it expire in December?
December 26th.
December 26th, yeah. So we have less than a year. Anyways, that was Crua. We also have, and I'm a trustee of Crua. I don't know if that makes any difference, but and I don't want to get the name wrong. Gloria Estrada. Oh, I'm going to embarrass myself if I got the name wrong. We have a new trustee from California. She's on the Met board.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry, Gloria Cordero. I knew I had it wrong. So I got a chance to get to know her, which is really great. She's a good addition for California trustees. Gloria Cordero. Yeah, there you go. Estrada. It's not related to you.
No, but I've met her. She's a nice lady. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her. I guess her husband is or just was the head of the Port of Long Beach. Pretty
It's big.
amazing. And
Big deal.
Yeah. Okay, so there was the Met luncheon at Crua on the 16th.
Yeah, we were both there, Director Bianco and I, and
It's good to get to know them and see what kind of things keep them up at night, what they're working on, and
yeah,
a lot of the
I had a good
a
chat.
lot of the same issues.
I had a
we're
good
dealing
chat
with.
about DCP. That's big.
Oh, with the Don.
with
I
at the luncheon.
had a good chat with him.
And him, but that's something that's big on the radar, and I think they're gonna have to deal with here pretty soon. So that's big. That's big for them.
The other thing that's fairly big on their radar is Chrome 6.
Yeah.
Which,
In some areas.
yeah, so that's helpful. Good.
I think
Then-
we're all fighting for state money.
There was a reception. I did not attend it at Crua on the 16th.
I think we missed that too.
Yes.
I know I missed that the reception.
And then we did have a lunch December 17th with San Diego County Water Authority, Dan and Mina. We did not have a board member. Jim Medaffer had some other thing, so he couldn't make it. Anyways, great conversation with both of them, and Dan's on the Met board now, which is kind of cool. It's nice to have friends at Met, even if they're from San Diego. Okay, and then let's see. I did have this telephone call with Cal Strat, Rusty Reyes, regarding Coral Mountain, and kind of the gist of it was complimentary of CBWD. I think, Dan, you missed that call, but Kerry was on it and Jim was on it. Just they obviously want to keep their timeline moving. I guess they're moving their project forward, Coral Mountain. You know,
That's the one at
the one.
next to Andalusia.
Yeah, it's next to
It's going to be the Wave Park, and now it's going to be a golf course.
No, that's
But it was
It's
going
a
to be a
golf
wave.
course, yeah.
Weren't they going to do a wave park there? No. Oh,
You know what? I
Coral Mountain.
heard about that too.
anyways. They were complimentary, and there's some issues with
it's below the Levy
buried
facility.
lines and things like that.
Yeah.
So that was good.
No
Yeah.
Bigfoot issues there. It's not. That's not in the. It's not too close to the mountain. Is it?
Protected from Dike 4. Yeah. Okay.
So it's on this. It's on this side.
So, are there any
Before you
other
get to
meetings?
Lakewood on the left-hand
I haven't looked to see if I had other meetings. I'm gonna just take a quick look while we're here. But are there any other meetings we need to report on
Let's see.
that we didn't yet? Just gonna take a quick look at mine, just to make sure we don't miss it while we're here. Got those. Got that. Yeah. That's it for me. Is there a motion to approve the meetings reported on?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, passed 3-0 with 2 absent. Do we get a progress report on Peter?
I texted him and let him know that we would likely be done by the time he got here, so up to him to drive.
So maybe he's not even
So I
driving.
don't think
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well then, I believe we have no further business, and
Merry
with no
Christmas, Happy Holidays.
no further
everybody.
business, we're adjourned,
I
yeah.
was right, look at that, on the dot.
15.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Just adjourned.
Yeah.
Literally, well, can we reopen the meeting?
Sure, if you want to.
Why don't we do that? Because we can report on some meetings, Peter.
You can technically adjourn.
So we were trying to adjourn, but I think there was a glitch, so we're still in session.
Great.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, so we're just on meeting reports, and there's a few there for you on the agenda, Peter, that, starting with December 9th.
The first one, first two readings.
Okay, so on the 9th, I met with staff to talk about a crew press conference, which occurred right after the Colorado River Board. Wanted to get on the same page as far as messaging and how CBWD wanted to present themselves, so that was good. Then on the 11th, State of the County, boy, that was quite an event. It was at the Eckersher Center, and they introduced all of the supervisors like they would
Director Nelson, your mic is off.
like they would the hockey players, steam and fire coming up, and they had video, just like a hockey player or a NFL star or something. It was just over the top.
Did they force them to skate too, or?
We sat down on that. They didn't skate, right? We sat down on the ice, which was obviously
I was
covered.
getting jealous there for a minute. If they're skating, I want to go do that.
So I mean, it was. I think some staff were there. I think.
No, I didn't make it.
You didn't
I
make it.
make it.
They had players' cards out on the table. I mean, it was over the top, right? And all I could think about was, this is what our tax dollars is going. But in any case,
I wonder if there might be a campaign issue there.
right.
Jeff's not here to.
I mean, there were wonderful presentations about what's going on in the county, and they did a really good job. They made it interesting. That's for sure. And I think everyone paid attention because it was done very well, right? So appreciated that. Then on the 15th, California Farm Water Coalition, our last meeting of the year. Obviously, Mike Wade is retiring, so there was a lot of talk about the budget and what's happening over the next year. We have our new executive director, Michelle Lauder, I think it is. She's coming in first of the year. Mike's going to stick around for a couple months. And by the way, Mike was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at Aqua this last Aqua. So he's recognized across the
Yeah,
water
definitely deserving
industry,
on that.
for sure. Let's see. Then we had our Colorado River water users from in Las Vegas. I think it all really boils down to obviously there's no agreement or anything, and I think it really boils down to what John said in his 2-minute remark at the end of the 7 Basin State panel, which I know some people had to get going on that, but there was the 7 states. They each they drew cards to see who would go in what order, and so that was kind of cute. And I accused them afterwards of stacking the deck because John Insminger got to go last, and he's kind of like
The biggest guy.
yeah, he's the biggest guy, but he's the probably oldest one on the river there. And after Pat Terrell left from Wyoming, who was really the kind of the sane voice, everybody would state their case and argue for their case, and at the end he would just distill it down to these are the real issues. And so John really, I think, does that now, and so he really boiled it down to the river needing 5 things. There needs to be a release curve for Lake Powell and Lake Mead, and people need to agree on that to protect the infrastructure, but also to deliver water. There's no way we're going to get a 20-year deal. The history of the river is incremental change. QSA 04, 07 guidelines, the 2012 minutes, the 2019 DCP. So 20 years is out of the question. So if we could get a 5-year deal, that would be good. And I think Robert is working on that as well.
I hadn't heard that either.
We need.
I think five years is not.
It's not very long, but how do
ink
you
is
get
hardly dry.
across critical issues?
How do people plan that are especially for farmers how do you make plans in 5 years?
Because the hydrology is changing so fast that you need to be able to adapt. I think if you set rules for 20 years and the rules don't go in Coachella's favor, we could be really up the creek without a paddle. If you have smaller increments, I think you can adaptively manage. Certainly, it doesn't supply the certainty that we all want, right? That we all want for the future, but to get us across the line, I think a 5-year plan makes a lot of sense, and I've been kind of arguing for that as well. Robert might have some comments on that.
Yeah, Director Nelson, yeah, I appreciate the comments on that. So I think to your point, Director Bianco, I think everybody's looking at 20 years as the ultimate goal. So there is no relaxation saying, hey, this 5 takes place at the 20. But I think to Director Nelson's point, I think we've been at loggerheads for the last, I'd say, almost 3 years, since the SEIS. And I think in order to kind of make some progress here, I think, by the way, this is not just a lower basin or upper basin proposal. I think there's some agreement that this needs to happen. We'll take the 5 years as a first step, so sort of like a pilot phase, if you will. And I would say right now, I think really at the heart of it is I think trust is very much lacking, I think, on both sides.
I know, guys, but you think Coral Mountain, just use that as is something to think about. So, I mean, you may approve something and it may not be built for 5 years. And then things change.
Yeah,
That's how long these projects take.
for sure, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I
you're
mean,
looking at
that's not
20,
just us,
100
that's
year
like,
projects,
like
right?
Arizona, you know, I don't know. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm
we
sure.
leave it, I mean, we have to go do, make a decision somewhere, but 5 years seems crazy. It's like you're gonna negotiate, just start, like, finish the deal and then start negotiating again.
No, Robert says no, and I say in some ways, that's what the 2004 QSA did, right? 3 years later, we're renegotiating again, and then in '07 gets to 2012. So I guess to get a deal set for a 5 year period would be kind of an interim step in the river. But I think Robert's right in terms of it's an interim step looking to get a 20-year
Okay.
program set. Next was really the whole group needs to understand the upper basin and the lower basin's actions, right? So the lower basin put forth the 1.5 million acre feet. What happens next? We really need to understand that. It's that simple, and what the upper basin is going to do now. Right now, it's pretty unclear. I think that's where the lower basin has frustrations. It's unclear what the upper basin actions are going to take place. And so that needs to be really out there in the open, and the lower basin needs to trust that that's going to happen. And likewise, the upper basin needs to trust that the lower basin can really implement this 1.5 million acre foot reduction, split between mostly Arizona and California. So there's that.
Don't you think that the lower basin is about at where they're going to be?
Yeah.
They've thrown all their cards on the table, and this is what they're going to offer, and it's not going to go any further than that.
I 100% agree with that. And at the same time, it's like the big question is, well, what if that's not enough, right? And so I think that goes beyond the 5 year plan. So okay, this fits within that 5 year plan, but there's still a question of if the hydrology stays bad, then if there's more actions that need to be taken, then after that 5 year plan, you can work towards the 20 year. And so there's that. Then this next one is really upper basin centric, but understand how the CRISP reservoir system will work in this period. And that is in the upper basin. Well, in the lower basin, the secretary is the water master in the lower basin, right? She has the authority, he has the authority to be the water master of the river. In the upper basin, it's not like that. The states are the water masters between themselves, but there are federal reservoirs up there called CRISP, and Colorado River Storage Project. And so the federal government has the ability to manage the water within those major reservoirs: Flaming Gorge, Navajo, Blue Mesa. There's a couple others, and so we need to understand what those releases are, and that is important. And then lastly, the fifth step was just to understand what the storage programs might be. Right now, Metropolitan has ICS, Arizona has ICS in Lake Mead. There's the thought that the upper basin could develop some of those same types of storage programs in Lake Powell, and then how that would affect that release curve between the two reservoirs, and then how the lower basin's storage programs might affect release curves. So the thinking is that in the lower basin, for example, 1.5 million acre feet of reductions, but that 1.5 could be made in years where it wasn't necessary, but the lower basin entities could actually store water in Lake Mead for when it was necessary for the future, right? And how to set that water in a operationally neutral situation so it didn't affect those release curves between Lake Powell and Lake Mead. So it kind of gets into the weeds, but it's really important on how that storage programs are set up. I think Coachella would much rather store water in our groundwater basin because there's no evaporation losses and so forth. And so, the thinking on the storage programs is we'll store the water here, and when it's necessary, we might just want to relax our deliveries for the year and have flexibility. So, lot to that. We still may want to have some upper basin storage, and we haven't talked about that. Not upper basin, Lake Mead storage, so that it protects us. That we'd have that option. I think flexibility is key. So I think the whole panel, the whole conference, I think sets up around about those 5 thoughts there. So I thought he did a good job.
He didn't have on his list a couple wet years in a row. That would be nice.
Wouldn't it? Right?
I think we should
Yeah.
add that to the list.
I know. Like in 2023, we had that super wet year, right? So I mean,
We're gonna have that again.
Oh, we are
We're
absolutely.
gonna have that again.
I mean, we
Could be this year.
we might get such an atmospheric river this week, and such a great Christmas present this week. I mean, Lake Mead could rise 20 feet because of all the water, and the upper basin might not get any water. I don't know, but I mean, we're gonna have those years, no doubt about that. We're gonna have those years. Let's see, going down the list. Conference. There was let's see, had a couple meetings, met with San Diego Southern Nevada Water Authority. There were no directors there, so we met with Mina and Dan.
San Diego County Water.
Yeah, and Mina and Dan, which was a great conversation in there. Glad to do that. The question is, San Diego has extra water right now, and so they're trying to offload some of their expensive water, and which another state might want to buy into that and have the water transferred. So San Diego would use less Colorado River water that's conserved through IAD, and then the water that they produce in San Diego with desalination could be used in like Arizona, and they're trying to see if we would support something like that, and I believe we would support something like that, even though it's across state lines, and we'd probably have to sign forbearance agreements and things like that.
How much is the water?
Oh, it's like $3,500 an acre foot. It's
How much is it? How much water are they talking about?
I see where you're going with that. It's probably 50,000 acre feet.
Why aren't we looking at it?
At buying their water?
Why not?
It's going to be really expensive.
I don't know why we don't look at it. I mean, you got to think about the future. I mean, it's expensive now, but maybe in 50 years it's a bargain,
Right?
right?
Possibly if something like that gets set up, that it could become a market-based
I don't know. I think it's something we should look at. We shouldn't, poo-poo any kind of water that's available, especially our neighbors. That's what my feeling is. I mean, this valley is, we're not doing anything without water here, right? I mean, I mean, why not?
There's probably better, cheaper ways to do local desal, is that the right word? I mean, reusing, like what we've talked about in Warp 4, reusing that water on the farm and that sort of thing. Not Warp 4. I think that's on the list currently of things.
Yeah, and
to
that's
do.
water that's a program. $36 million federal money for 1,100 acre foot a year for 30 years. Yeah.
I mean, San Diego's water is the most expensive, it's the most expensive bill that you have, right? And so we're in a position to where the lowest bill that you have in the Coachella Valley is your water bill. And so I'm just thinking out loud.
No,
This is the first I've heard about it. And
no, I think it's a good thought. I think it's,
I mean, I'd like to see something on that before it. They don't-
before
they
the
don't-
opportunity goes away.
Before the opportunity goes away.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's unfeasible, and maybe we can't afford it, but maybe it's, just to look at it.
I didn't get where they would be selling that at. I didn't get what, thank you. They were planning to sell it at their cost or at some blended rate.
So
You know.
I think that's all negotiable, right? And I think that obviously they want to offload some of their expensive water, and that their thinking is that water reliability and certainty comes at a cost, and so if their cost of water is let's say their blended cost of water is, I'm just going to use easy numbers. I don't know if these are the numbers, right? Just an example, easy numbers. Let's say their blended cost of water is $1,000 an acre foot, and they have $3,500 in that cost. So the price of reliability is somewhere around $2,500 an acre foot to get that reliability. So you could work the math there in negotiations and try and come up with some kind of blended cost there. So that might not be the whole number, right? I think it's a good thought to kind of put it down on paper and see what the difference.
DWA may want some too. Maybe a shared thing, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Great. And then that's all the meetings I had, I think.
Great, so, is there a motion to approve the per diem for the meetings the reported on?
I'll also move.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pass 4-0. You can figure, Sylvia, how to do the minutes on that one. Good luck. And, once again, with no further business, we are adjourned.